I'm in South Korea to answer questions you have about the martial law that was declared. Let's go. So first, what just happened here? President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law, saying that it was to protect the freedoms of the country's democracy. When he did this, he cited threats from North Korea, but there were no evident external threats. Only threats to Yoon's political career. Now, this has a deeper history that dates back to South Korea's time under dictatorships that we'll get more into. Despite the martial law, thousands of protesters gathered outside the parliament as they are continuing to do so right now, and 190 lawmakers fended off the military to pass an emergency vote to lift the order. 6 hours after announcing the martial law, President Yoon agreed to lift the order, which he was obligated to do under the constitution. So what is the history behind all of this? Well, South Korea has a history of dictatorships that goes all the way back to the Cold War era. In 1948, the country was divided between the Communist North and the South, which had the backing of the US. Between 1948 and 1980, martial law was enacted in South Korea 16 times. As President Yoon faced domestic political pressure, he labeled his political critics as communist and anti-state, just as previous dictators had done. Now, martial law was last enacted in 1980 to suppress pro-democracy protests in the city of Gwangju when mostly student protesters were killed. It's a deadly and painful history that many people here in South Korea still clearly remember and say that they don't want to repeat. So what do the Korean people want next? Life here in Seoul seems pretty much back to normal as martial law was enacted and then lifted while most people were sleeping. But the country faces even more instability now. Tensions between the parliament and the president have been simmering ever since the Liberal Opposition Party took control of the chamber. Yoon has been unpopular since he took office in 2022. And now Korea's main labor union says it's on an indefinite strike until Yoon resigns. And as you can see, there are growing calls here on the streets in Seoul for President Yoon to be arrested and for him to step down for attempting an insurrection. After challenging what it means for South Korea to be a democracy, the threat of Yoon's impeachment is larger than ever.